Hello, my name is Todd Falcone. How are you doing today on this fine video day in internet land, people? Hi, are you doing fine? Do I sound awkward? Look, let me say this. When you're making phone calls, when you're prospecting, one of the best things that you can do, in my opinion, and if you've heard me do live prospecting calls, you absolutely pick up on this, is to reduce the formality of the conversation. Let's just say for a moment, that you're marketing within the cold market, okay? Because, you know, a little bit different than warm marketing. So you happen to be engaging someone in conversation, maybe that you don't yet know whether it's a lead, that you purchased or generated, or maybe, you know, you're incorporating, and I hear this all the time, people that are incorporating my recruiting professionals technique, that the response that they're getting, they're not getting a really favorable response. And then when I listen to some of the calls, I find that they sound, I don't even know if this is actually a word, but I've used it before and others have as well, is salesy. They come across too formal, and they're then perceived as a telemarketer calling from a phone room, utilizing a script, and they're with all sorts of other people in the room making these same phone calls to tens of thousands of people. And I don't want to be called by that type of person. This is a sales call. All right, sorry. So, look, here's the thing. The best thing that you can do, and I'm being dead serious here, is, and I actually, in cracking the code to success, I do an extensive training on prospecting and recruiting, and I talk about reducing the formality of your call by imagining this, like you're coming home from a hard day's work, and you got your suit and tie on if you're a dude, and you come home and you unbutton your sleeves and you roll them up, and you take off your tie and you unbutton the top couple buttons, and you kick your shoes off and you put your flip-flops on, and maybe you take your shirt out from underneath your pants, and you're just kind of chilling. You're like in a more relaxed state. That's how you want to be when you're prospecting and recruiting. You don't want to be like so laid back, like, yo, hey, dude, like, hey, man, it's so good to talk to you. Like, how you doing? That's not going to work either. So what I think does work, however, is using language that, the best way I can phrase it, and I did it very recently on this big live dialing session I did, where the people, I'm calling and they're like, the person already thinks, they don't even know me, never heard from me before, but they're thinking, I'm hearing from a friend. A friend is calling me, so I won't call, hi, may I speak with John Smith, please? Hi, is John Smith in, please? And I'll say, hey, is John in? Or, hey, John, Todd Falcone, how's it going? Not, hey, hi, John, this is Todd Falcone. How are you doing today? Because that, and maybe you don't quite do it that way, and I hope you wouldn't, but what you want to do when you're making a call is make it so it's friendly and relaxed. Not too relaxed, like, dude, yo, what's up? But relaxed enough where they're kind of like, hey, who's this person calling me? I guarantee you this. I guarantee it. If you're calling leads, if you're calling professionals, and you can get yourself to relax just enough to where you're going into the call almost assuming yourself that you already know the person, that you're a friend, that you don't have to go through the formality, then guess what's going to happen? The amount of acceptance is going to improve. It's going to dramatically increase. And you'll probably almost never be perceived as a salesperson, a telemarketer, someone who is calling from a phone room or anything else like that, which you don't want, especially if we're talking about building a network marketing business. We want to be friendly. I'm not going to assume, I don't know you, so I'm not your friend yet, but I'm going to be friendly and act in a way that's just a little bit more casual and a little bit more accepting. So think about that when you're making phone calls, and I absolutely guarantee you, you're going to get better results when you do that. So, hey, Todd Falcone, and love to hear from you. Absolutely love to hear from you. Please leave your comments below. The big conversation happens at toddfalcone.com. So I don't know where you're watching this video, but hopefully at toddfalcone.com. Leave your comments below. Yeah. Can you hear that? Those are my birds. I got lots of birds in my backyard. Nice ones. Have a good day.